Straight Talk Foundation, STF, is implementing the Raising Hope project with support from UNICEF. The project's aim is to contribute to addressing challenges faced by adolescent girls, the key one being HIV and AIDS, human papillomavirus, teenage pregnancy, violence against children in schools versus MHM, sexual and gender-based violence, cultural practices including alcohol and substance abuse.
In the school here, we have activities that guides our children. We are so happy for Straight Talk and UNICEF for the support they have rendered to our school and the surrounding community.
The project has fourfolded outcomes including strengthen capacity of in-school and out-of-school adolescents in social, cognitive, behavioral competencies that are critical in reducing risk behaviors as well as nurture their positive attitude. Social adjustments to healthy lifestyle and access to education, capacity of teachers, SMCs and junior journalists strengthened to deliver life skills interventions aimed at improving in-school and out-of-school adolescent social, cognitive, emotional and behavioral competencies and increase knowledge and participation of community members including religious, cultural leaders, parents and guardians, caregivers in adolescent development and participation initiatives in development and humanitarian context.
Before Straight Talk came in, the rate of school dropout and child marriage was high. But after, some children were trained as adolescent volunteer initiative. These children have caused a very big impact, which is a positive one. They have changed the lives of their fellow children in terms of giving guidance and counseling to them. These children, before they were trained, we even teachers were experiencing problems because in the school here, we normally handle them very well. But when they reach home, parents are not playing their roles. That has made everything very hard for the children whenever they are at home. But when Straight Talk and UNICEF intervened, some of these challenges reduced. For example, teenage pregnancy, school dropout, and even child marriage has greatly improved.
I'm now saying, if you move in front of the office where the flags are hosted, you will see certain writings there by UNICEF. That was a donation by UNICEF. So the talking compound we have up there is all about UNICEF. You will pass, there is good information being passed by UNICEF on our behalf because we could not manage. I can also find a station where we receive t-shirts, which t-shirts help us so much in promoting academic excellence, because I was using the t-shirts to appreciate those who pass from the first maybe to third position, and it brought a kind of competition which had never been there. So everybody wanted a t-shirt, and for you to get a t-shirt donated by UNICEF, it was, I think, a UG children, and somewhere you see UNICEF. So I'm trying to appreciate UNICEF for that effort. When you see the t-shirts, I didn't make it very cheap to be given out. I brought some academic issue where you are number 1, number 2, number 3, from P1 up to maybe P7, then you deserve it. So it brought some positive competition. So we are so appreciative also in that aspect.
Objectives of the Adolescent Volunteers Initiative: to create an enabling environment for girls and boys to be safe when they advocate for themselves, to strengthen institutional networks, alliances with C4D capacities in adolescent volunteerism to implement, monitor, evaluate and document social changes at community, organizational, district and national levels. To utilize social media to reach, engage and attract stakeholder groups, especially adolescent girls, boys, religious, cultural leaders, district technical leadership, and members of parliament towards transforming power relations, harmful social norms and practices affecting adolescents. To build the Adolescent Volunteers Initiative towards social change at all levels. To create opportunities for adolescents, especially girls, to amplify their voices and hold their leaders accountable to their commitments towards rights and protection. For girls to freely discuss with the leaders and key decision makers in the country, highlighting the plight of girls and required support for a skilled girl force. To support girls to appreciate their potential and to inspire them to prepare and assume leadership in different spheres. To provide a platform to talk about how to transform power relations, harmful social norms and practices affecting girls in a way that will ensure all girls in Uganda are meaningfully skilled.
Last year, 2019, is when the interventions for adolescents development initiative was introduced in AMDAT. By that time, before these interventions, we had a lot of challenges. We have early child marriages, pregnancies, a lot of home cohorts are reducing the rate of children being in the schools. We had a low enrollment in the schools, access, retention, and of course for the enrollment, we have enrolled now, after these interventions, we are able to enroll 8,885 children in our primary schools. And of course, against the school-going age children in Amdat district, that is, there are 34,100 children. When you subtract 8,885 children from 34,100, you almost get 26,000 children who have not yet accessed basic education in this district. So we are grateful for these interventions, which has enabled us to enroll this number of children. We hope with the follow-up and with the continuation of this program, we shall be able to attract more children in the schools. And of course, this program was targeting the in and out of school children. Out of school children were in Akorikeya and Loro. And then in school-going children, we are targeting those in Pokot Girls, Pokot SS in Amdat district, then Kalas Girls. Those are the target. So we are indeed very grateful that this program is really has come on a timely moment.
Kalas Girls is a school for itself, for girls only. But again, it acts as a rescue center for the rescued girls who run away from their homes for rescue, for security, because the parents in the villages want them to get married, and others force them to be cut, that is FGM. So when they come here, we keep them, and not only keeping them, but we help them to acquire some knowledge. They go to classes, those who do wish, and others go for skills. Like now we have started teaching them making beads and other things. But on the same note, I would like to thank the UNICEF and the Straight Talk Foundation for having helped them, to empower them for the time that they have spent here. Like as I said, they helped us to identify the places that were not good to be at school, like the old toilet, the old building which was there. Then it took us some money to destroy them, of which that money was not there. And as per se, we still have some other challenges whereby we lack some lights in the dormitory, like the solar, because when the power goes off, it becomes very hard for us to keep them. And for a security purpose, since they are rescued girls, it becomes very hard to keep them here. So it is our request to you people, UNICEF and Straight Talk, if you could help us to overcome some of the challenges concerning lights in the dormitories, and like as we destroyed the toilet, we don't have enough toilets, and yet the girls are very many. So those are some of the challenges we have. If you could come to our assistance, we would surely be very happy for you people. Otherwise, we are so grateful for the effort that you are putting in to empower our girls and to keep them feel like they are women and true women, as you teach them to come up as full women, as you empower them to be good leaders in the future.
I am very happy to share with you some of the issues we had in our school last term. Last term we attended meeting with the Straight Talk Foundation, MCA and the head teacher. We moved around and we identified some unsafe and safe places in our school. One of the issues was the barbed wires we had. When we wash our clothes, we hang them. Barbed wires can easily tear them, or when we are walking at night, it can easily prick us accidentally. After the meeting with the Straight Talk Foundation, the head teacher acted very fast and removed the barbed wires, but now we are safe because they have removed them and they have replaced them. And another issue we had was the issue of water. We only had one source of water, of which the water source is near the road. Some people can easily come and throw stones on us at night. We end up fetching water in late hours. Some girls end up missing to fetch water because we only had one water source. But now after the meeting with the Straight Talk Foundation, MCA and the head teacher reacted very fast and connected for us water from town council up to school. But now we have two water sources. Water source it helps us, we simplify our work, and we go to class, we read our books, we revise.
I thank UNICEF for giving us the lights, everything in our school. I thank UNICEF and the head teacher of Kalas Girls.
I was part of the training for volunteering, AVI, Loro Sub-County. So I help the youth as a patron to package them with the information. So I want to start by appreciating UNICEF and Straight Talk for the training that they did to our youth in our community here, because we have been always suffering with the issue happening in our communities. Very many things happen in this community. One, the issue for FGM, we have the issue of child marriage, we have the issue of youth involved in drug abuse, alcohol. We have the issue for children being denied their rights, like for some of the children wants to go to school but they don't have any say to their parents. So I want to thank so much UNICEF for bringing all these initiatives, and we package our youth, the volunteers, with the information what they are supposed to go and tell the others at the community level. We are not, our target, it was not for only youth, and also we touch on the GBV, on the violence from our community, because in our communities the violence it has been taken as just a usual thing, but it was affecting them so much. So when the training was done and the youth went to the community and they rolled the information to the community, and per now we are receiving, we didn't have at first the GBV, anything in our GBV register. We couldn't get these mothers. Whenever they are violent from the community or those girls, they don't report at all. But per now, since the Straight Talk trained volunteers, we now receive their referrals to our health facility. And also youth who are not concentrating to come on the issue of their health in the facility. But per now, we are receiving some numbers of the youth coming to our youth-friendly corner to seek for services, of which is showing that it is a good picture. Because I saw this, that for sure it is something which is making sense and it is bringing some some importance in our community and some change. At first, the IPs, they could come and they talk to this community, they go away, and the community remained the same. But the step UNICEF took and straight talk, it is making the impact in our community because they are using the very youth in the very community and the very people who are affected. So it is bringing a change, and we make them every month, we give them mentorship, and also we meet every month for the reports, what have they done and what exactly, what the challenge they pass, and what so far is good and what is not going well, so that we package them again and they make it perfectly.
I appreciate UNICEF because they have given me skills, and I've gone to the village and I've spread the skills they gave me. I think I'm going to talk about the violence against girls in my village. I think they taught us about violence, and in my village they never knew that you can report even violence against girls. Now when I gave them the information, they have known now that they can report violences. Because when I talk to them, and some of them now even come to my place and they require for information. And then when they come, I give them the information, and I teach them also how to report to the health facility and how to report to police. And why also we report them here to get some things from the health unit, because we have a youth-friendly corner where also you get some informations from there. We refer them. I've so far referred like 4 of them in my village. The ones who got problems like violences, and I told them how to report the cases, and they came. I think people of the health unit knows also that because I refer them, and they have got now what? They have been helped with the health unit.
We have also challenges in Loro Health Center, not only in the community, though the community is rigid, but we are trying better to work with them. We have also challenges as the focal person, the youth-friendly corner. We have challenges in the youth-friendly corner. We also don't have the reading materials in the youth-friendly corner. Sometimes the youth come, they find we are busy, but they cannot access all the services that they need. Better for them to read something as we are busy, then we go back and talk with them later. But now when they find that the place is empty, they find difficulties to reach the targets, to reach the needs as they need in the unit. We have also challenges of power. We don't have power for the youth-friendly corner, though we have the desktop and the radio plus the screen, but it cannot function without power. Then the challenges are also still in the community. We have the community, but our community is not always fine that they can help us to support the community. The communities that we are serving, that the community, this kind of people that they don't mind of what the consequences may be. They only want to find out that they have their part. In most cases, like when you find these cases of rape, defilement, forced marriages, FGM, these people tend to hide out. They hide. They don't want to speak. They shy behind. Even though the things are spoken, they have been heard out, they don't mind. They say, we are one. Let's agree. These things should not go further. Let's just end these things here. And that helps. These situations, it cannot go far. It cannot be calmed down. The situation will still continue going up. And the hardships the volunteers find are those ones. They cannot go further if the people are not willing to speak for themselves. And they cannot help the community if they are not ready to accept what they're supposed to do. So it gives a challenge to the peer educators who go to the community. If when they report a case to them, they cannot work alone if the community itself cannot accept to speak what is happening on the ground. So those are the challenges that we face. And we also need the support from UNICEF and Straight Talk. If they can help us and find out another ways of
refreshing these volunteers, it can work better, because others are idle in the villages and are doing nothing. They cannot do anything. They're just there. Others have lagged behind. They don't mind of what has taken place, of what has been there. They're just relaxed. So if there is a refresher training for these volunteers, I think it could help us better. And we are also requesting for other materials, like any reading material that can be provided to the unit, so that in case these people, these young adolescents come, they can find something they can do in the unit. They can maybe, if we get games that can be around, and they can help them.
Before the program was brought in, our adolescents were left out in many programs. Like in meetings, they were not participating, they were honored off, they were just swimming in the air without much support from both the government and other development partners. But with the program of volunteer initiative in Kabong District Local Government, I would like to recommend that very many sub-counties have involved the adolescents in participation in meetings at different levels. We have also included the adolescent program. For example, in my planning as a CDO of Sidok Sub-County, I've included one plan for financial year 2020-2021, a dialogue meeting by adolescents in their community where they will discuss the different challenges they face. I also included one activity which is about stakeholders training on the challenges which is affecting the adolescents. And I've put a budget of around 500,000 which I will be conducting in the coming financial year. This is also done in other sub-counties within Kabong district. Before the adolescents got the trainings and got involved in this program, many of them felt left out, especially the out-of-school adolescents. But as I talk, many of them are now involved in different activities. They are able to present the challenges that they face as adolescents.
I was trained on how to advocate to the fellow adolescents, and we learned the 9 core issues affecting the adolescent girls in Uganda, and I got interested on one core issue, that is child marriage. Before this, child marriage was rampant in our community. Many girls could get married when they are still young, just because of poverty, parental neglect, backwardness of the parents. As an adolescent volunteer who has learned skills on how to advocate, I had to gather some girls who had got pregnant when they are still young. I had to tell them about the dangers of early marriage, like death, operation during delivery, loss of the baby. Not only that, but I also advocated I was taken to the Voice of Karamoja to advocate on the same issue. They had to take my advice, and they had to follow my advice. Some of them could end up fighting their parents. And when I told them on the issues affecting them, they had to follow my advice and had to stay with their parents. Some could say that they drop out of school just because of poverty, parental neglect, which leads to early marriage.
At the training, I got enough skills for advocacy, skills for being self-aware, self-control, and many others. From there, I had now a voice to raise. After gaining skills from that training, I didn't stop there. I went and conducted talks at assemblies, advising other students about the core issues, where I really cycled one of the core issues, and that was alcoholism and substance abuse, where I talked to them about the dangers of alcohol and substance abuse, and also I advised them on ways of keeping safe from alcoholism and substance abuse.
In the training, we learned about violence against children, both in the school and in the communities. The training helped us a lot. Before the training, there were different forms of violating children's rights in the school and in the communities, like beating, insulting, denial of basic needs, among others. After the training, we had community dialogue where we advised parents to stop violence against children, and also we organized school assemblies where we educate our fellow pupils about their rights and how they can effectively report violence cases both in school authorities, the LECs, and police for action. And we also asked our teachers to stop violence against children. As I talked now, violence against children is greatly reduced in my community and completely eliminated in my school. I therefore thank the Street Talk Foundation and UNICEF for great support and wisdom they had given. As they said, information is power. And I strongly promised to continue fighting to ensure that violence against children is eliminated in Adjuman districts. During the AVI training, I advocated for a new construction of a kitchen in my school, because in my school, the kitchen which was there was constructed by bamboo sticks, and remember, this can easily get caught by fire, which can affect our learners. Remember, the wind always blows. It can blow dust into the kitchen, which can contaminate the food, which can even cause our learners to get some diseases. So we advocated for a new construction of a kitchen.
Before I joined this project, I used to be this shy girl. Actually, I wasn't confident at all. I used to be this child who never respected the parents simply because I never knew the value of respect to parents. But after joining AVI, we were taught a lot. I even never knew anything about sex education because my parents have never sat me down to talk to me that, my daughter, as you grow up, this and this will happen. But when I joined AVI, when they called me for the training, I went for the training. Then after that, I learned a lot. And with the knowledge I've got from AVI, I've been able to talk to very many adolescents in my home area. And among the many I talked to, some of them came to me personally, at least telling me how they've changed. For example, I have a friend called Fiona. After talking to a group of 5 girls, among them she came up and told me, Spencer, you know what, I've been actually having 5 boyfriends as per now. I've only had them because I wanted to get money to buy different things which other girls have and I don't have. Then she was like promising to change since I had told them the dangers. There are very many whom I talked to and many have changed.
As we have our trainings, UNICEF helped us a lot, like in providing facilitation, transport, and much more. UNICEF also helped us to encourage our friends who are outside there to be in school. Also help those who are going under problems to bring them back to school. UNICEF also helped us in talking environment. It helped us in providing T-shirts that are having writings that are giving information for people that we are people who are helping our fellow young teenagers. My word last words is that UNICEF should help us in providing us the fence, because the school also helps. The school is trying to work hard to build up the fence, but now the capital is not enough. It's now stopping at a point that is not complete. So we are asking UNICEF to help us and join hands with the school to finish for us the fence. And my last word to UNICEF is that thanks for UNICEF for helping us a lot in all this.
All activities were organized by Amudat District Local Government, coordinated by the District Inspector of Schools as AVI District Focal Person, and facilitated by Straight Talk Foundation with support from UNICEF.